Joining us tonight from Washington, D.C., as we discuss the U.S. election day is the Democratic Party member, Dr. Shireen Al-Najjar. Thank you, Doctor, for joining us on this important, imperative, and remarkable day, let me say. But my first question is kind of personal. How do you feel on election day as a Democratic Party member?
And patience is not my virtue, as we speak. This election is very tense and very expensive. You do know that it's been the expenses exceeds $1 billion. On Sunday itself, they spent $300 million. What I'm afraid of that is some of the Republican voters would not accept the results if it doesn't go their way. And you do know that the National Guard is deployed and they're everywhere in the Capitol, in the White House, around the White House, and around the House of, around most of the precinct, actually, and especially the House of Vice President Harris. We are hoping and praying. I just heard some good news, which is the uncommitted co-founder, Mr. Abbas, has declared that he will vote for Harris, and it's a good sign because in Michigan itself, we have 128 Arab Americans, and in Pennsylvania, 128,000, sorry. And in Pennsylvania, if you remember, Biden won by only 12,000 votes. In Michigan, there are 200,000 Arab American. Arab American around the U.S. is 3.5 million. And I think, this year, we are united. We know what we want, and we're going to express ourselves, and we'll show the government that we are important voters. We have opinion, and we can impact the decisions that would be taken in the White House.
Commenting on what you're saying, of what you said, that you are united. Can this also be applied to Michigan, specifically Michigan? We've seen some polls in Michigan talking about that perhaps many of the Arabs there could vote for Trump.
I do understand that some of them disagree with the way that the Biden administration have dealt with the issue in the Middle East, but they tend to forget, and they've been reminded many times in ads and in the news and via mail, that it's the first time in the United States that a letter, official letter, went out to the Israeli government tying the aid for Gaza, humanitarian aid, with the military aid to Israel. We do know that Netanyahu has close ties with Trump, and he cannot wait. And we know that some Israeli actually supporting Trump because they know that he will give Netanyahu green light to do whatever. And he's expressed it many times, just do what necessary to secure the state of Israel. The American Egyptians and the Lebanese Americans are, apprehended. They know where the administration stands, but they're also worried that maybe Trump will give a green light to annex part of Lebanon because that would secure the borders. Also, we know, what he intended for the border with Egypt, and that is scaring us as well. So
He
we're
wasn't
hope.
really official about saying any of that.
I know,
Anyway, we
of course.
when we talk, I want to talk about demographic shifts. Uh, have you observed any surprising shifts in voters and their support this election? And if so, are there any factors that can contribute to such thing?
I saw it in both ways, both parties. To tell you the truth, I saw some of the Democrats, like you have seen Robert Kennedy, changed his affiliation, and now he's a Republican. And I've seen the opposite. I've seen household members that they always very loyal to the Republican Party. Some women in the Republican Party disagree with what's going on, and even though they did not switch the affiliation and worried about retaliation or being subject to disagreement with family members or religious leaders, they switched their loyalty to the Democratic Party. Also, a lot of students in the universities. We see a lot of blue wave in the universities, even though just because they were afraid that Trump had said it repeatedly, if he was in office, he would put him in jail or expel them. I want to also bring it to your attention, sir, that is for the time in the history of the United States, we've seen the demonstration in support of Palestine and asking the government to do something in the United States. So we have not seen that ever before. So I guess this is a shift. Internet and social media portrays a lot of pictures and shares a lot of information outside the United States. Even though I would like to also mention something about the economy. Even though some of the Republicans say this is the last 4 years, it's the worst 4 years on the economy. The economy in the United States grew by 2.5%, and this exceeds the growth of any industrial country. Also, during the Biden era, the last 4 years, the administration added 15 million jobs, and it is the highest since Clinton in 60
All right.
years.
Let's talk about the what you've seen from the young voters and the first-time voters, because if we go back months ago, when Joe Biden dropped out of the race and Kamala Harris stepped in, we've seen, perhaps for the Democratic Party, a wave of young people supporting once again from members from the parties who are younger, and perhaps that could reflect in the voting. What do you think of that?
I'm pretty sure that's a good sign. The younger crowd, they know more than us as, the millennium generation. They thinkers, high thinkers, they been exposed to the international media, and they form an opinion that could gear or path the way to making right decisions for the future of this country. Being affiliated with the Democratic Party, the reason behind that is because they think we need to be united. We do not need to call the other, as Trump calls his opponent, that they need to be put in jail or use military against them, or all this here that the young generation disagree with. Freedom is very important: freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and we don't want to call it fake news, as the President Trump is calling it. So it's a good sign. I'm very optimistic, and I'm hoping they could make a difference in this election.
Okay, I want to bring something up that perhaps is not going to be very happy for you. A scenario in which Kamala Harris would lose the elections. What do you think the scenario is going to be for the Democratic Party and for Kamala Harris herself moving forward?
We believe in free election, and if Trump wins, so be it. We're still going to support him as President of the United States, even though we did not vote for him. But we're going to use our officials, state officials, and congressmen and senators, try to express our opinion and try to pass laws and regulations that we believe in. This country cannot be run by one man. This is a country that runs by lots of institutions that believe in freedom and the goodness and the good future of this country. So whatever he decides, we believe that the Congress will stop it if it's not for the benefit, or, as he says, make America great again.
Okay, my final question, in your view, what will be the biggest challenge facing the winning candidate, both domestically and internationally?
Unite all the Americans under one president that look after them and have the best interest of this country in heart.
Well, thank you very much. That was the Democratic Party member, Dr. Shireen Al-Najjar. Thank you for joining us on Q News.